G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we are on Himeyama to witness two of the world's best players face off against each other. We have got ourselves a fun little matchup, one that dates back to the OG times but with new strategies. Well, at least I say new strategies, we've seen this one for quite some time now. This is a standard farm opening. I say standard. You know, it's not really standard. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's introduce our players for you today. Spawning in the east of the map in the color red, playing as the English, it's Louis MT. He's representing Team Elephant, by the way. I forgot to mention that. And on the west side of the map, in the color yellow, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, we've got Kiljardi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company. Now, I noticed that we've got the little logo down there in the bottom right-hand corner, but I don't actually think this is an EGC Masters game. If you did want to check out some of their content, though, I will leave a link down in the description to where you can watch it live over on Twitch. Make sure you go check out their YouTube channel as well, because they post everything that they do on their YouTube, so maybe you want to see some top-level players, you can go check them out. But other than that, let's get to it and talk a little bit about what we can expect today. We've got the English with their longbows up against the Abbasid dynasty with their camel archers. Always very difficult to justify going camel archers into the English because of just how well longbows deal with them. I would expect in this matchup what we're going to see is probably that typical build-up that you see out of a lot of the top-level gameplay, where it's sort of a Mexican standoff until players both go castle. So you'll essentially have players building up troops and then just sort of going castle age. That's the expectation here. Now, we've seen a couple of games recently. I think we saw our very first feudal game not too long ago, which was kind of wild. It's been a while since we've seen players just knuckle down and fight each other in the feudal age, but we did get to witness that. But one thing to note, though, is Kiljardi is going to be opening up with a dock. Now, this is something that we haven't seen in a while on Himeyama. We've seen people typically just avoiding this. Now, I'm kind of curious if he throws in a second TC with this in the feudal age, or whether he just looks to try and leverage the fish that he's got here, because he does actually have quite a bit of fish in here. I think the real question is about going to be whether Louis lets him actually take advantage of this fish, because remember that it's a lot of fish or a lot of food in here, and all it takes is a longbow or six, and all of a sudden you're in hot water, my friend. But Louis on the other side of the map isn't going to be thinking longbows today. He's going to be thinking more regally, more, how would I say, more kingly. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Abbey of Kings coming down, 230. Not a bad little timing. He's put this one down. 3 vills on it as well. Another vill going to be added in over to gold. Now, I don't think there is a chance in hell that we're going to see professional scouts coming out from Louis today. But there's always a chance. In fact, both of these civilizations are non-professional scout enjoying civilizations. You've got the Abbasid dynasty, which absolutely love, with an underscore, a bold, and italicized. They love their berries. And we've got triple berries that are very close to home here for Louis, or for Kiljardi. Meanwhile, for Louis, who doesn't care too much about berries, his berry placement is not the best. He's got berries in the front of the base, but he doesn't care. You know why? Because he's English, because he's got the farms. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting those farms nice and early, stacking them up, because they actually gather faster than pretty much everything else there is to gather. I think maybe with the exception of like a boar with survival techniques and a wheelbarrow, does the farming gather slower. It's pretty impressive just how strong that is. But Age Up now going to be coming through on the side of Kiljardi. I don't know if you guys heard that. There was a big bang. My son is upstairs. He has recently learnt how to, I don't know if somersault is the right word, but he's jumping off the couch onto the floor. Like, we've got a couch up there, and he just jumps from the couch, bam, onto the floor, just boom. And he won't do it downstairs, because we've got, you know, a concrete slab and tiles on the floor, but upstairs, you got that little bit of flex in the floor. There's carpet, so if anything goes wrong, you're fine, and boy, oh boy, does he enjoy doing that. So, look, apologies in advance if it sounds like I'm kind of getting stuck in an elevator, because it is more than likely to occur this game. I'm not going to point it out every time it happens. Just know that if you hear a big thud sound, that's probably what that is. And it might be quite subtle, but there you go. Anyway, Age Up about to come through here for Louis. 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Not a bad timing. King now in queue as well. Behind this, what's the play? He's got enough in the bank. He's going to do it. He goes professional scouts. I tell you what, man, these guys, stop it, all right? And look at the other side. We don't actually see professional scouts coming through just yet for Kiljardi, because he's not in the castle or in the feudal age, but he does have 3 vills on gold, so he could definitely think about it. Normally what you'd see is that he'd look for the cheaper tech, so the preservation of knowledge, then you do it, but you're going to be delaying yourself if you do that, and he's already quite late with the age up already. He obviously did start with the the fish. I can't believe this. This is just hilarious. Like, I would have rated the chance that we would see professional scouts in this matchup like below 10%, just because I know that both players not respect, but know about each other and what they do. Like, we've seen games where the Abbasid just let the enemy take all of the deer and they don't care. And we've seen games where we've seen the English player just let all the enemy take all the deer and they don't care. So why should Louis care in this situation so much that he would go professional scouts to deny that potentially from his opponent? Perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what the play is. Now, we've got more upgrades coming through. Fresh foodstuffs, preservation of knowledge, going to be on the way as well. Interestingly, not waiting for preservation of knowledge before hitting that fresh foodstuffs button. Very interesting. It does mean he will pay a little bit extra for it. I think it works out to be 100 resources, so you'd be saving like 20. But then if you queue up a villager, you're probably saving 18, plus the vill time, the queue time. It probably works out to be about the same, so I think that's absolutely fine. King now going to be coming out, looking to put on a bit of pressure towards the front. There's not really much hope that you'll have over towards this top side. Lots of production nearby, ready to go. Now, Louis MT behind this is also going to be picking up wheelbarrow, and we see the interesting difference here is that you've got racks stable opening for the English, stable archery range for the Abbasid. Very, very curious. And now we see the archery range come down. It's the 1-1-1. GUA had a lasting impact on the meta of Age of Empires 4. He's still around GUA. You just don't see him up fighting with Beastie anymore. I don't know. Maybe he's probably a busy guy. And that's one of the things that you got to remember. Like, at the end of the day, if your job is Age of Empires, you are a pro at that game. Or I should say, if your job is being a pro at Age of Empires, you're a pro at that game, and as a result, it means you spend a lot of time playing and practicing. It's your thing that you do. But if you work another job, right? Because I know Mark is GUA. I know GUA. He works. He's got another job, and it means that, you know, if you're spending 8 hours a day doing something else, you can't be spending 8 hours a day grinding on the ladder, and it means you're going to fall away from the top guys. You know, whether you like it or not, the numbers are just not in your favor, and so it's one of those tough things. Anyway, I hope he's doing all right. It's been a while since I've spoken to him, but I'm sure he's doing very well, especially probably as well as this 1-1-1 is going to be doing for Louis MT, opening us up with a very nice strategy to start things off for in 2025. Exciting. We're almost moving into month number 2 for 2025 as well. Hope you guys are getting ready for it. It's February. We've got a lot of exciting things happening in February. Aliens are going to be happening in February. What else is going to be happening? AGI is going to be happening in February. A lot of big things in February 2025. And the best part is it's only February. We've still got the whole year to go. There are rumors that 2025 is going to be the biggest year you've ever seen in your life. Well, to be fair, it feels like every year is the biggest year. Every year just gets worse and worse. Anyway, we'll move on and we'll move forward. Oh gosh, horseman number looking good here for Kiljadi. Now, I think the big question is, when do they find their windows? And I'm not talking about the operating system. I'm not talking about the panes in your house. I'm talking about their windows for Castle Age, because they're both going to be looking for it, because the power that Castle Age offers you, particularly with knights and with camels, is very, very important. So we want to try and look to get there as soon as we can. I mean, for the Abbasid, it's probably a little bit more around the Gulams that are going to do quite well, but we want to try and get there as quickly as we can without dying. Now, at this stage of the game, no professional scouts has come through for Kiljadi, but he's still doing a really good job of denying that professional scouts out from his opponent. We can see that he's been out on the map. Scout is on the south side as well, so perhaps Louis MT maybe outthinking himself a little bit, maybe not. We'll have to see how it works out in the end. Obviously, he's going to be securing a lot of food here. Keeps his king towards the top side. Scout's going to go back, and plenty more units here. But have a look at Kiljadi. Keep in mind, he does have the culture wing that he's open with. What does he go to castle with? He could go military wing, but I feel like going eco wing's probably the play here. It makes sense, right? Especially when you've opened with this. Oh, he did open with a Dow. It is going to be the military wing. Interesting decision. You know what? This does make sense. Initially, I was like, okay, culture wing makes the most sense because it means that you can go, you can focus a little bit more on economy, right? Like you've kind of opened up strong. You're doing okay. Let's go into economy. But if you don't go military wing, you're missing quite a lot of important upgrades. You're missing your boot camp, missing your combos. These are really important upgrades, and to contest the enemy longbows, we need to get them. So it kind of makes sense that he knows if he went for the eco wing here, he would probably just die. And realistically, I mean, he's going to go through a farm transition over on this side of the map. He's probably going to have to drop down, like he can just drop down a second TC and just pay full price for it, but it's going to hurt, man. It's one of those things where you're just kind of like, ugh. You know, you don't want to have to do it. Let's just put it that way. And it's going to make for a really awkward mid game. I feel like maybe one of the best things that he could have done is kind of played into the fact that his enemy is... Oh, I don't even know, man. I really don't know. What's the appropriate play here as Kiljardi? Because to me, it just feels like your enemy's got so many ways to play this, right? From an English perspective, I've got so many different ways. I can go Imp here, absolutely fine. I've got gold in the back of my base as well, so like Imp is easily an option here for Louis. I don't think he's going to do that. He's a bit more of an aggressive player. But yeah, like realistically, with all the food that he's bringing in as well, together with cheap farms if he needs to transition, it's not a big deal. Whereas I feel like you're just missing out on so much if you don't go into that eco wing. All right, well, Kiljardi now at 25 military pop. He's kept training in the transition period, which is always advisable. The numbers are still looking pretty decent for him. Louis MT's fallen off as well. We can see that behind the scenes, it looks like he's going to be hitting that castle age. Now, do we go King's Palace here, or do we go White Tower? I think King's Palace makes a lot of sense here. You're not under a whole lot of threat. Your enemy's already aged up. White Tower would be a bit more of a defensive option, and I don't think we've really got the economy that justifies it. And he will go for the King's Palace. It's in the back of the base, on the wood line, hits the gold as well. Definitely a nice little spot for him. He does have a nice little, nice. He's got a nice. He's got a nice little wood deposit up towards this top side, but this is definitely the primary location, the preem location. Is it Chum? I can't remember. Man, I tell you what, playing Cyberpunk was so much fun. It's kind of funny. I was looking at the Cyberpunk Reddit, and they were just talking about how it really kind of influences your your lingo. You pick up all these words from it because it's oh man. Anyway, it's a fun game. If you haven't played Cyberpunk, go check it out. It's great fun. Make sure before you do it, you look into like the mods for it as well. You can get it looking really pretty. It depends what kind of graphics card you got. But yeah, I downloaded a couple mods, and yeah, the photorealism is absolutely chef's kiss. Let's check in now on this top side. Louis MT under the town center right now. He's going to be defending. He waits for the age up. It's arrived, but keep in mind those upgrades are going to take 60 seconds before they come through. Meanwhile, on the side of Kiljardi, we do see veteran archers. We do see horsemen have come yet to be upgraded. Have we got compos? I didn't even check yet. No, we got boot camp. That's all we've got. Couldn't afford our compos. It's a little bit more expensive than boot camp, but +1 range attack is coming in. Normally we like to see the triple upgrade all come through at the same time, but that can be a bit more focused towards like your 2TC style of play. It's where you see +2 ranged armor, composite bows, and boot camp, or not boot camp, but and veterancy all coming through at the same time. It's a powerful mix. It's a very powerful mix, but not going to be able to find it. Doesn't really even have the mass. To be honest, I kind of would have preferred that kind of style, but look, at the end of the day, Kiljardi's the one who's piloting. But I think from a personal perspective, I love that sort of second TC, archer mass into just a whole lot of archers. It's kind of wild how much damage you can do with it. But Louis now going to be picking up more upgrades. We see him just sticking with the classic composition here. Spears together with longbows. Now I'm going to put my feet up. We're 13 minutes through the game. Let's have a bit of an income check. I mean, it's going to be pretty much identical. So we're not going to bother. Monastery has been dropped down for Louis. Kiljardi, nothing. No, never mind. It's on the front. The mosque at the front. Always a bit dangerous doing the mosque on the front. Because it's like, I'm going to put it on the front to get the relics faster, but then at the same time, if I get pushed, I'm going to lose my relics immediately. Now, one of the things that we haven't done for the last couple of games, we haven't actually done a Drongo drink of the day. It's coming in right now. I'll give you a couple seconds to guess what it is. I mean, I'm just going to take a swig. Think what it might be. I'm on my fourth cast of the day today. Haven't talked about the drink. I'll tell you right now, it's not a coffee. We had that. That was actually before game 1 that we had the coffee. All right, let me have a sip here. It's good. Oh, it's good. My top lip is wet. I could get really descriptive for you. I'm not going to, but I could. But I'm not going to. But I could. It's water. It's water. It's water that I would put at about A tier at the moment. There's no ice in there. You know, that's an 8. Let's go with that. For anybody wondering about that meme, just type in "it's a 10" meme, and YouTube will have you covered. It's an ice cream meme, but it checks out, sir. Relics getting picked up. We're at 2-1 at the moment. Kiljardi mass continues to build. And this is what I was scared about, is this potential power spike from the Abbasid dynasty in the Castle Age. This sort of one base, culture wing, military wing play. But Louis MT, I don't think pushing out here is the right play. You've got the second town center. Just scale, bro. You don't need to fight him right now. Go behind your walls. Go under your town center. Keep... Yeah, this was a bad decision. But Louis MT fortunately realizes... does the right thing. He's now got that extra attack speed. This is much better. But even then, you don't want to be fighting in under this. You want to come right underneath the town center. Let's see how he does it, though. There we go. Makes the right call. Falls back. That's perfect. Exactly where you want him. Right there. Get that town center firing as well. Beautifully positioned. Louis MT, an absolute stickler for the mechanics of the game. A little bit of a raid back here. Knight just checking in, but he's got units in position. Kiljardi going to be meeting his opponent there. Well played by Louis at this stage of the game. Now, keep in mind, Louis' goal here is don't die. His main goal is don't die simply because he's got the second town center. The second town center scales him into the late game. He's also picked up 2 relics and 2 to 3. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. If you can do 2 to 3, that ain't going to be making much of a difference. But like a 4-1 split or a 5-0 split is massive. That's 400 gold for your opponent versus 0 for you. A minute. Louis, look at these walls that you're going to have to be dealing with. Kiljardi right now saying, this is my half of the map, and that's your half of the map. And in between it is no man's land. There's really nothing important in there. There's a boar. There's a gold mine. There's some berries. But nothing too important. Have a look at this. Both players just walling up. Huge walls coming through. Louis not completely walled off. Not a fan, honestly, even with like this kind of thing. I'd be like, okay, we're going to delete the house and wall to the gold mine, or we're just going to wall around the front. It's something that even this kind of gap, your enemy can exploit. But the good thing is, Louis is all at home. He's working from home at the moment. He is home-based. He's not going into the office to play, and his troops aren't either. They are all happily at home. And that's great because it means his commute is low. Look at this. He's just going to commute right here to the kitchen, pick up the drink of the day, and then commute. Sorry. Man, I tell you what, I remember when I had to commute. Commuting is such a scam, dude. When you think about it, right? Like, you're telling me I have to put on a suit and like shower, and that already, we're up to like 30 minutes there. Then I got to commute. That's another hour. Then I got to commute home another hour. Like, I'm literally just losing 2.5 hours a day. And that's, that's a fortunate commute. I know people who live in London. I remember talking to this one chick, and she's like, oh, she doesn't live in London, but she works in London, and she catches the train. And I asked her, how long do you spend on the train each day? She said it's a 3-hour commute in and a 3-hour commute back. What the hell, man? Like, do you even get any hours of the day? Like, if you think about it, right? Let's say you work 8 hours, or if you're private, like maybe you're working closer to 10 hours. And then like plus the 3 and 3 for the commute, you're talking 16 hours. 17 hours if you want to get ready. And if you're a chick, I mean, it's probably going to take you even longer than that. Maybe you get ready on the train, but still, I guess you'd have to turn that train time into like, I don't know, maybe I've got this vision of Australian trains where it's like everybody's crammed in like sardines. And maybe English trains are really nice, where you just go through the countryside and look out the window and scroll TikTok. That's what I'm talking about. Those are some trains I could get behind. All right, but let's check in now. Louis MT still on the defense. Longbow number only at 9. He's going to try and use them to zone out that enemy. He's moving into a very nice combo of crossbow men-at-arms. Let's check in with the men-at-arms and see if they've got their upgrades. They do have their armor cladding. He's got +3 ranged armor, so it means he has to have armor cladding. It's impossible otherwise. A little bit of battering rams coming down. Monastery has gone down on the front. Relics are dropped for the moment. He'll have to pick up those relics and move them somewhere a little bit safer. You know, we were just talking about when you put the relics at the front. Look at this, look at this, look at this. He's got one behind enemy lines. The wall hasn't come up, or if it has, he's left a bit of a gaping hole in the front. Meanwhile, back towards the English-based Louis MT continues to hold. He doesn't want to fight right now. He's looking like a boxer in the corner, just doing his best to dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. He just wants to dodge everything, but that's exactly how he wins in this position. He does not want to fight. Meanwhile, back towards the gold of the enemy. These vills are doing a decent job, but no textiles is going to really hurt him here. We need to see more walls coming up. And this is part of the reason why I'm really not a fan of big walls like this. Big walls, you know what they say about big walls? Big sucks. That's what they say about big walls. They suck, man. Don't make big walls. Just a tight little wall to start yourself off with. You've lost 7 vills now. For what? For a big wall? Like, just make a nice little tight one at the front. That's all you need. And you can layer it, right? Treat it like an onion. Layer that bad boy up, and you're going to be absolutely fine. Throw it in the frying pan. A little bit of garlic, a little bit of oil, a little bit of butter. Maybe not oil. Maybe just butter and garlic. Okay. For real talk, though, name something that smells better than oil. No, sorry. Name something that smells better. I mean, oil does. Gasoline smells pretty good. Is that weird for me to say? I drive an electric vehicle, and sometimes I'll go to the service station to get like a 4-pack of Red Bulls. And dude, that smell, it's just like, whew, that is good. What is it about it, man? Why does it smell like that? Why does it smell so good? Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like sitting there huffing, but like at the same time, damn. You know, that's one of the biggest misses that you'll have from driving an electric vehicle, that smell. Anyway, what smells better than butter and garlic and onions in a pan? There's literally nothing. That is S+ tier. Everything else, D tier. That's the difference between it. It's, oh my god. I can smell it right now. She's cooking it right now. That's Shell. No, BP. No, I'm just kidding. The twist in the story. Louis MT still holding. Is he going to look for an imp? This is the other thing, right? Like, he could actually unironically imp right here with the Berkshire. Oh, he doesn't have the gold though. Ooh, okay, never mind. He's off. He's lost all gold, and that's going to be problematic. And he has technically been walled out of his gold at the north. Almost, not quite. Kiljadi, you know, doing a really good job here. But the trouble is, he just can't find an in. And Louis is doing such a really good job on the defense. He's lost so much, but the best part is he's just never committed. And a lot of lesser players would have committed to defend, but Louis doesn't because he knows he can't commit. You can't commit against this. You commit against this, you lose. There's just way too many things going for you. And I think that's the power of the military wing. We're seeing it right here. Mango moves forward, tries to find an inch its way through. A little bit of damage on the Monk, going to be healed up so quickly. And the Mango goes down, dude. This unit's so comical, dude. Okay, that was looking a little bit better. Louis MT, is he trying to bait him back here? Maybe that's the play. He's looking to try and get a little bit of a great bait. Maybe taking some inspiration from the Master. King's going to come through, get sniped out by just a random group of 7 crossbows and a knight. Fair enough. Sure, I don't know what you guys were doing back here on the stone outcropping, but I'll take it. And now Louis realizes push might be coming to shove. Men-at-arms on the south. Nice and broad concave he's got going on. Able to dodge those mango shots, but still able to do some decent damage. Crossbows together with the spears on the front. Able to get those cav numbers down. As long as the men-at-arms are able to stay alive so that they can hit onto the back line here, he should be okay. 49 archers coming through from Kiljadi. A keep for defense. Good luck getting it up. And finally, Louis starts beating it back. He says, get on out of here, mate. This is my town. And beautiful patience. Beautiful timing. One of the most patient defenses I've ever seen. We are witnessing the rise of the patient gamer. And I'm not talking about the hospital bed, baby. I am talking about a man of Zen, a man of meditation, a man of timing. It is Louis MT. Those EL, they don't stand for elephant. They stand for executive level Louis MT. I don't know, dude. You know, sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where it's going to end up. And I just hope that I find the end by the time that I get there. Here, we started the sentence. We didn't make it. We didn't make it in time. What could that stand for? Enterprising leader? No. Why are all of my all of my examples like corporate business speak? Stop it, Drongo. Like, this is like elderberry laughter. No, that's a smoothie. All right, we've broken through the wall on the south side. Louis MT is getting serious. Take a look at this. Huge Castle Age army coming out for him. 26 crossbows, 27 crossbows, 32 men-at-arms. He means business, and he's truly found the counter to all those archers. Meanwhile, towards that top side, looks like more units are starting to build. I'm not even kidding you. I can smell something cooking up right now. It's not quite garlic, onion, and butter in a pan, but it definitely could be. We're going to see a little bit of payback over on the other side. Now, Louis did recover his own relics and move them into the back of the base. Do we see monks moving out? Monks? I never know what to say. And I think as an Australian, I always cop a lot of flack for it because I say things and I've just been saying them wrong my whole life. And it's like, no, Drongo, you haven't been saying them wrong your whole life. Your country has been saying them wrong their entire life. It's not you, okay? It's the country. Sacred Site gets captured and he runs for it. He says yoink and makes a little bit of a try, a little bit of a college effort to get out of here. More walls coming in at the top. You guys got to be careful. Yeah, 4 walls away from Elon, and that is not something that we want to see. Whew, jeez. Spicy. Let's check in with Kiljadi and see how he's doing. A lot of farms on the front line. Crossbow archer number beginning to build here. And we see why the ranged meta is so powerful. A whole bunch of ranged units now coming out for him. 33 crossbows for Kiljadi. Louis with 25. And this is where the English excel. Because now all Louis does, he just starts making longbows. And he rains it down on the enemy. There's honestly... never mind. He's doing it. I was going to say, there's a window for him to go Imperial here. The key here is that he needs to go Berkshire and he needs to drop it on a gold. The only trouble is his golds are only 4Ks. So there's no real high value gold to drop it down. Like, this would be a high value spot right here. Because as long as you're able to keep this gold, you take this gold, but at the same time you're working this gold down. But he's kind of leveraged up towards the north side. That's another thing. Now, you might hear some screaming. I don't know. I think I heard my 2-year-old. He was out there. Hopefully he doesn't bust through here. I haven't got the door locked at the moment because he was upstairs, but it's getting close to dinner time. It's, we're 4:46 at the moment, and dinner time's at 5 o'clock. All right, well, let's check in with Louis. Does he think about it? Just remember, dinner time's flexible for me. It's allowed to be. I could cast an hour-long game. They'd all still be sitting out there waiting for Dad. I'm just kidding. They wouldn't. They'd start without me. Oh, man. Sacred victory. No longer being approached as the sacred site is lost. Louis now. Towards this top side. Continues to hold the defense. We're right on board with him as he continues to push units through to the back of the base. A little bit of a push on the south side. Still just seconds away from clicking that imp button, but I don't think there's any real... Where do you put the Berkshire down, right? Like, maybe you put it down here. No, even then, maybe you put it down here, get your elite upgrades, and then push back. Maybe that's the play. But he's going to try and fight it out. He's maxed out 200, 200. Horseman switch coming in. He could just go Wingguard instead. He could just go Wingguard. If he's going Horseman, has he got veterancy for his Horseman? Oh, he's just going to go Wingguard. And he could just print. Oh, this could be totally clutch right now. He's throwing away all the units. It's a massive trap. Oh, it's a huge trap. Look at the horsemen as they come out. He's only got ranged units to deal with them. A couple knights on the back line going to draw away those horsemen, but very quickly it goes down. Now looking to deal with the rest of the units. Kiljadi, 71 military pop, going to continue to rise up towards the north side, trying his best to keep this keep alive. Wants to try and secure the stone, and it's going to be a Berkshire. Where does he put it? He throws it down on this sacred site in the center or on the south of the map. It's going to look to try and secure multiple resource nodes with it. Doesn't need to go into the Wingguard. He says, Drongo, we've already got enough stable. Oh my God, look at the stables. He's got 8 stables. Tell you what, he ain't, I'm trying, give me a reference right now. I need a reference. Something to do with stables, something to do with feet, with cav. I don't know. I was looking at, like, you know, he's not messing around. He's not horseing around. Yeah, we'll go with that. He's not being a silly horse. Oh, I'm trying to think of something that doesn't make me look like a dad. Or as my mum would say, a dag. That's what she'd call me when I was younger. She'd say, you're a dag. You're a dag, Drongo. You're such a dag. What does it even mean, dude? You know what it actually means? we lived in sheep country, mate. We knew exactly what that meant. Google it, sheep dag. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Why was my mum calling me poop? Oh gosh. Age up comes through for Louis. Upgrades on the way. That's not an Imperial Age upgrade, Louis. What are we doing here? He's going for boiling oil out of all the things. I'll be honest. I don't like your prospects. I don't like your prospects. Now, looking to try and steal away the... Look at the... Where's Kiljadi golding right now? There is no gold for Kiljadi. He's not invited to the gold party. 0 vills on gold. Unable to secure any of the gold. Completely denied. He's trying to recoup losses in the north. But he's suffering on the south, and he's up against multiple troops here. Have a look at this. Horsemen, together with the crossbows and archers. Kiljadi, unable to go to Imperial, but able to spam out decent numbers. But look at this. These are veteran units. They're just overpowering the enemy. Has he picked up? He's picked up the... Yeah, he has. He's picked up the Citadel upgrade. That's why these units are doing so much damage. I'm looking at it wondering where the hell are they pulling all this DPS from? And that's where it is. It's an extra 40% of attack speed just slowly working in for you every 1.33 seconds. How you doing, mate? Jeez, not too bad. That is for sure. Now Berkshire going to provide a little bit of cover fire. Outpost, he could look to get an emplacement on it, maybe combine it with the fortification and deny this gold. Meanwhile, towards the north, it looks like the boiling oil does come through. Oh, Kiljardi. You hate to see it. You really do. You hate so much to see this. What? Oh, he's... No, not like this, Kiljardi. He's worked so hard. If you just brought a single battering ram or a single trebuchet, it would have been all over. We could have just made a battering ram with our troops before we committed. But he's lost so many troops on this north side, and now Louis going to try and take advantage. Look at the horseman number. There's no protective wall. You know, once you're through this wall, and this is the reason why I hate these walls. This is like, stop doing these walls, people. Now that your enemy's through these walls, you've got no backline defense. If you go for an onion, then sure. Like, I've got no problem with these walls if it's like the second layer or the third layer of walls that you're putting down. But as a first layer of walls, it just doesn't make sense. You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it right now. Stop doing... I'm a big fan of walls. They're useless. They're literally useless. Like, why? Why? We've seen games where players have been walled in before. Okay, there can be circumstances where it makes sense. There's stone walls. It's typically when you've got complete map control that you can do it. Even then, we've seen players break out. I think I watched a Beastie. Was it Beastie versus Demu game where Beastie was walled in completely by Demu and Beastie still broke out? I think the Malians may have been involved, but yeah, it was one of those wild ones. And now look at this, Louis MT just going to destroy the economy. And like, and this is it, right? This is where it all comes from. So you got to remember that when you do your walls nice and close together, it's really easy to defend them, because if you get attacked on these walls, you can bounce down here, and then if you get attacked on here, all it takes is like less than a screen, and you're over defending these walls. The problem is, if you've got walls down here that your enemy's pushing through, you now need to move your army from wherever they are on the map. Maybe they're over here. You need to then move them down over towards this position to defend. And by the time that you've done that, the wall's already down, and the cavalry is through. And now you've got to go chase the cav. And because of that, it means that they can come do this, and then they can get through, and basically it's just like a non-existent wall. And if you keep everything close and clustered, it allows you to just sort of bounce between each of the walls. The enemy will get through, but it means that you've got a lot more time to react. It means that you've got a lot more control that you can emphasize in that defense. Whereas here, what we're witnessing is just a complete dismantling of Kiljardi. Louis MT doesn't even need to play direct. Like this right here, this is not what wins the game. This is what wins the game. The horsemen run through to the back of the base. Louis MT can literally just do this forever. All he's going to do is just run troops into your backline. You've got one TC. What are you going to do? You didn't go eco wing. You're not at 134 vils. Louis at 134 vils because he went for the second TC, because he's been scaling since the beginning of the game. Well, not since the beginning of the game. I mean, technically he has been scaling since the beginning of the game, but he's been scaling more than his opponent since the Castle Age. Either way, you guys get the idea. You guys get the picture. That's my gripe. And at the end of the day, it looks like that is going to be Kiljardi's gripe as well. As we can see, he's got so many troops, but just has no hope. And that is because he had no internal walls. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it there. Make sure you go check out EGC TV this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday, and we'll see you in the next one.